Somebody lied. Call one of my homies and make sure you both die. You should be out my way.
Why?
You know what? I'm gonna leave it here to haunt you. Maybe one day you will.
Just days later, the man you saw in this video, Keith Johansson, would murder his own wife.
She had a little scream, and then I heard 2 gunshots.
And once confronted for his crimes, he would deny and lie his way through everything.
I tried to say, Brandy, 911's coming, 911's coming. And that's it, which is the most horrible sound you can ever hear. To be quite honest, I mean, I still got blood from her. I don't know whether I want to wash it off or I don't. I mean, really, it's the last thing I had.
But little does he know, there is a mountain of evidence against him, and despite trying to manipulate the detectives, he's not getting away with murder.
He told us that he heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams at all. None.
Why would he make that up?
I feel really offended that you guys can try to pin an accident on me.
Show a cop these videos. I'd rather be in prison.
On April 7th, 2018, around 11 in the morning, dispatch in Flagler County, Florida received a 911 call from 36-year-old Keith Johansson.
Okay, what's going on there? I was in the shower. I heard gunshots. I think my wife shot herself.
Do you see a gun on the floor or anything?
Yeah, I ain't moving it.
Do you see any part of her body where she got shot that you can possibly apply pressure?
I can't see anything.
Keith went on to tell dispatch that he couldn't attempt CPR or aid for his wife because he had just gotten out of the shower and he was afraid he would slip on the floor. When the Flagler County Sheriff's Office arrived, however, the shower, soap, bathroom floor, and Keith himself were all dry. But that wasn't the strangest thing about the scene. In the bedroom, the body of 25-year-old Brandy Salenza was discovered with 2 gunshot wounds. Next to her was not 1 gun, but 2. Officers had no idea how the scene before them could be related to an accidental gun discharge, but immediately upon their arrival, they had an idea of the person who purposefully fired the shots. Her husband, who was sitting on the porch, trying to choke out some tears. Brandy loved nature and spent every moment she could outside on the beach, exploring Florida. Her 6-year-old son, Ryland, was the center of her entire world, and she was the center of his. As officers secured the scene, Keith and Ryland were taken to the police station for questioning. After settling Ryland into a room for youth, an officer helps an allegedly grieving Keith into the interrogation room. Now, I'm just one narrator, but I can say that in my experience, when someone arrives at an interrogation shirtless, things generally don't go well for them. It takes Keith a long time sitting alone in the interrogation room to ask a question that most parents would have in the forefront of their minds.
Hey Keith,
Yeah.
I'm Corporal Hersey.
He's got a shirt.
Well, I'm hoping this fits you. This is all I could find.
Freeze it, man.
I know you asked them for a shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. You hungry? You need anything?
I'm just very upset.
I understand.
And I don't know. It's like it's not real. It's like...
Okay. Do you need some water or anything?
How's my son?
He's doing good.
Good.
He's doing puzzles and stuff.
Good, good.
Okay.
What's the process from here?
Well, I wanted to see if you needed a chaplain or something
Probably.
like that.
Well, like after all this, I probably need someone to talk to, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a lot to deal with, man. We just got married and, I just don't understand.
Okay. All right. Let me make a phone call and get you a chaplain, okay?
Keith's stepson, Ryland, may be playing puzzles with the victim advocate, but that's not the only thing he's doing. Victim advocate's role is to emotionally support the children in their care. At the same time, they are legally able to question children within a reasonable scope. And since Ryland made a rather concerning confession on the scene, the victim advocates have a lot of questions. While officers discuss their next steps, Keith has a discussion with the chaplain.
Hi, I'm Chaplain Ed.
I'm Keith.
Keith,
Nice to meet you.
sorry for your loss.
Just don't understand why.
Yeah. Tell me what happened.
I was in. Okay. She woke me up.
What's your wife's name?
Her name is Brandy.
Brandy? Okay.
And she said that she was gonna have us start some coffee and all that. So I went to go and take a shower. They just gave me a shirt. I was soaking.
Okay.
And I heard a boom, but I thought that it was a balloon, it popped. And then I heard this secondary, so I was like, what the hell? Turned it off right out there, and she's laying there like that, right next to my bed. No, and I'm trying to
Process it, yeah.
wrap around stuff,
Okay.
whole thing, and I don't understand,
Sure.
and I'm starting to really question my faith at this point.
And it seems that Chaplain Ed is questioning his faith in Keith's story.
Right now I'm feeling kind of weak,
Yeah.
as you can imagine.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, and also the Lord would just give you a sense of to see into the situation, So Lord, we just thank you for Brandy. We thank you for her life. We thank you, Lord, for the love that you have for her. We thank you, Lord God, that your plans are yea and amen. That, Lord, we can put our trust in you. You tell us, Lord, that you never forsake us, you never leave us, that even at that critical moment, Lord, that you were there with her. With death and dying, Lord, we are always left to deal with the aftermath of what's taken place. So I pray for Keith, Lord. I pray that a spirit of truth will come upon him, that not only truth, Lord, but just your peace and your strength, that, Lord, he would just face each moment, that he'd look and see what's happened, but also look with eyes of discernment, eyes to see, Lord, that you're the one who's going to guide him through this.
To be quite honest, I still got blood from her. And it's just, I don't know whether I want to wash it off or I don't.
Well, you'll come.
Really, it's the last thing I have.
You know your story isn't working when the police station chaplain is praying to God that you will be truthful moving forward. After a few more prayers and an hour in the interrogation room with Keith, the chaplain leaves. Soon after, Keith has to tell his story to a much more critical audience, detectives. Detectives who have been reading through files and getting reports from the crime scene of this case for hours. Though Keith immediately starts with a sob story to get detectives on his side, it doesn't quite go as planned. The following footage was provided to us via an FOIA request made to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office.
This is Detective Thomas, or you call it
Nicole.
Nicole's fine.
It's her case, so, she just wanted to come talk to you. You were cool with giving her a statement, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
No problems with that.
Um,
How's my son doing?
oh, he's doing good. He is doing great.
See, the thing that I don't want to tell him is what happened to his mom. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But the chaplain gave me a lot of good resources.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I cried in here for about 20 minutes, so I'm trying to calm down.
Again, man, like this is kind of stuff that it's better to not do it by yourself. He's a professional. He's been doing it for a long time.
Well,
he
said he knows my mom and my dad.
He knows them personally? Huh.
So that was a good thing. So now I got a better network, and I just don't know why and how I'm going to get over this. And it's something that I wish it was a nightmare and just went away.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
It's definitely not anything that you have to do overnight either. Nobody's expecting you to be a superhero or anything like that. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for your son, her son.
How am I going to tell her parents? Have they been even notified yet?
Yes, they have.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I could do it myself.
Right.
You know, it's bad enough that I gotta tell the son. You know, and I don't know where to go from here, guys. Like, it's like almost not even real to me.
Right.
You know, and go ahead, fire away.
Okay. So, I just want to make sure that you're comfortable to be here, that you know that if any time you don't want to talk to us, you don't have to. We don't want to
Sure.
make you feel uncomfortable. We don't want to add any trauma to what's going on.
Basically, I just want to get this part over with so
Right.
me and him can go be with our families.
Sure.
It's normal.
So
But
during
I've been
this,
here, what, 2-3 hours?
I don't know. I don't think it's been that long, but it probably seems like a long time because it's
Yeah,
just
no problem.
it's just a box in here. All right. So because we don't know you, what we like to do is we like to find out about you, about your life, about your marriage, about everything that's going on, just so that we can. Our job is basically to paint a picture of what's going on and what happened.
Okay.
So we just want to know everything that you can tell us about you, about your wife, about your family, what was going on. So we just want to have a conversation with you to get to know you. We may ask you some questions that are personal. We don't want to offend you. We don't mean to be overbearing
to
or
be done.
anything. We just have to do it. So if you'd like to start and just tell me about you, tell me who you are.
Well, my name is Keith Johansson.
Okay.
And I was an ex-roofer. Recently, well, back in 2018, I got hurt at work. I was a roofer for like 15 years, man. And I got hurt and was going through the surgeries and stuff like that I decided not to have. Took a settlement of $100,000. So I moved me and my family to the house we're in now. We've been there less than a month. Paid 1 year advance. Me and her got married last year. Now that I had this money, we're planning on having a real wedding. I mean, I'm a pretty boring person, so it's open and shut with that one. It'd be better if you just ask me questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you and Brandy been together?
A little over a year.
All right. And how would
Well,
you...
together or married?
Together.
About 2.5, 3 years, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and you've been married how long?
About a little over a year.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship?
The best one that I've had yet. I mean, she was everything that I wanted her to be. Everybody has their problems here and there, of course. But it was, she woke me up, she made breakfast, she had my back, And that's very rare. I've had one bad relationship before, and that was nothing like this one. I mean, as far as I know, we loved it, happy, we did things with kids, we did our thing. And we're trying to start a new life, in a new house. And I would say it was great. I mean, they asked, was she depressed or any of this, and no, it wasn't like that. She would uplift me, And it's just one of those people who you're like, where were they at all my life, And it's very hard. I mean, I don't even know if I could go back to my house. Which the chaplain said that's normal, and I just don't understand the whole situation. I really don't. Do you guys have any information to maybe clarify it a little bit for me?
Well, I mean, we're still pretty early on in the investigation. You have the most pertinent information that we're going to need for this.
Okay, go ahead.
So up to today, what would you say was the biggest issue that you guys have in your relationship?
The biggest issue is she would just lie about stupid things, But other than that, I mean, the stress of her always wishing that she could add more to the relationship, as in, that's why she wanted to get a job. You know, and I was like, it's not that important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But besides that, I mean, we seemed to be happy. I mean, you know, like we'd have our arguments here and there, stupid little things. But never nothing violent, never nothing too crazy,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I would say our relationship was, you know, okay, with the exception of a little bit of bickering here and there,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Was she, when you guys would bicker, was she a yeller? Was she
Sometimes.
a screamer?
Sometimes.
All right, explain that to me. How would all that happen?
She would either yell about something or scream about something, and then she would go to a different room. She'd calm down. That was that.
So out of the two of you, who would you say was the more aggressive during arguments?
Neither.
Neither.
Not the same. You know? We both knew that, you know, stay away and cool down.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Haven't had an argument in a couple of days, at least.
This is, of course, a lie. Video evidence that officers were in the works of uncovering would soon reveal that not only had they been arguing continuously for several days, but it was undeniable who the aggressor was.
Why?
It was at this point in the interrogation that the male detective in the room noticed something highly concerning. In his supplemental report following this interrogation, Corporal Christopoulos noted that he became aware of blood splatter on Keith's pants. Blood spatter is also known as projection spatter or impact spatter, meaning that to end up on his clothes, he must have been standing nearby when a force strong enough to cause it struck Brandy's body.
She fell asleep. She must have woke up earlier than me because she had woke me up and was like, wake up, I'm gonna make breakfast, you know? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a shower. And I took a shower, and in the shower I heard a boom. I thought it was a balloon. Then I heard a secondary boom. And I was like, what the hell? Walked out there, slipped on the floor, because they're all wood floors.
Mm-hmm.
Slipped on the floor, looked over, and it's her laying there. And I immediately found my phone and called 911. Immediately. And I got on the phone with the 911 dispatcher and was like, hey, I think she accidentally, because that's what it looked like, that's, And he was kind of yelling at me. He was kind of rude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, try to apply pressure. And I was like, I can't get to her. I'm soaking wet. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then they were like, okay, there's 911 at your door. So I let them in, and they pretty much rushed me out. So I really remember about that.
Okay. How was Brandy for the last week or two? How was she mentally?
Mentally? I mean, not like depressed or mad or nothing. She usually was a happy, bubbly person.
Mm-hmm.
And you can ask any of her friends this. She was one of those people who you were just like, if you were in the dumps, she would go out of her way to help her friends be out of the dump. You know what I mean? She was just real bubbly, and that's what attracted me to her.
Mm-hmm.
Is the bubbly personality, always happy, you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like, well, and I was like, why are you always smiling? How could I not, she says. Stuff like that sticks with you,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't even want to believe that she's gone right now. I'm having a hard time with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where to go from here.
So you said she's usually like that. Did something change, or was that just the wording that you used?
No, like 9 times out of 10, she was always bubbly,
Okay.
So, it was one of those people who you just wanted to be around. And radiated her good vibes
Mm-hmm.
to everybody. And it's just, these are the things I need to remember, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it was just one of those things where you were just like, finally I found that person.
Mm-hmm.
And now it seems like my life's been stripped away from me. And I don't know why or how or if there is a God, why he would do this. And I'm having a hard time now with my own faith.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So do you have guns in the home?
Yeah,
Okay. And where do you keep them?
on the side of the bed.
Can you explain that to me?
Okay. When you're looking at it from walking in the door, the right side in the actual between the bed and the wood.
Okay, so I'm a very visual person, and I've not seen your bedroom before. Can I get a piece of paper and have you
Sure.
draw that for me? Because I'm
Sure.
gonna get lost, and then I'm gonna feel stupid, and I don't like to feel stupid. So let me get that.
Okay. Her good attitude is really keeping me fine. I appreciate that.
No problem, man.
And after all this, Ben can be in Ryland know my family.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably wondering what the hell I am.
Well, he knows you're here. He knows
Okay,
you're
okay,
fine.
so he knows
Yeah.
I'm here with him.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's okay. They got a special little room over on the other side of the building, and they got a bunch of books and toys and.
Good, good. So he knows I'm here then, so he don't feel like he's
Yes.
alone. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Okay, so however you want to do the page, if you'll just write like notes of what you're drawing, just in
Okay, so
case you're as good of an
From
artist
the
as me.
door. Okay. I'm gonna write, here's the hallway, right? Ryland's room is right here, so I'm gonna put an R, okay?
Okay,
Ours is right here, so I'm gonna put M for master,
okay,
okay? Here's the door. All right, you walk in, and here's our bed.
okay,
Here's my entertainment center. I put it in the right, or the left hand between the bed and where the frame hits with the wood.
okay.
They both fit right in there perfectly.
And you have both guns in that spot?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, right here. And here's the bathroom. When I walked out of the bathroom, she was laying right here by my nightstand.
okay,
And yes, both guns were on the floor.
okay.
So what I figure now that I got to think about it
Uh-huh.
is that maybe she was trying to move them, or she slipped, or I don't know. But it was within that area. So your guess is as good as mine, really. I know that she would never do it on purpose.
Do what on purpose? I'm sorry.
Like she would never try to kill herself or nothing like that.
Right.
But there was one laying right here and one right here. And when I went this way, I kicked one out of the way a little bit because they said to get to her to try to cover any wound.
Mhm.
And I was slipping around and I couldn't get to her. And they were yelling at me because I couldn't get to her in a prior any pressure.
Okay, so you didn't apply any pressure to it?
No, I didn't touch her, period.
How often does she touch the guns?
Oh, she has her own too. Often, like she would move one, or if we were out in the living room, she would take one with her, you know, and just to have one around.
So those two guns, were they hers or yours?
They were mine and hers, kind of. I bought them because she bought one at a different store, which was, that one is in my safe at this point. They were both mine.
Keith is telling the truth here. When his parents were interviewed on the scene, his father told Sergeant Miller that Brandy was extremely proficient with firearms. He even scoffed at the idea of Brandy accidentally shooting herself because she was so familiar with them. Little did he know, his son would be sitting in an interrogation room hours later trying to convince detectives that that's exactly what Brandy did. His attempts at manipulating them into believing this narrative only get more ridiculous from here.
So you just had the two guns open in between the bed frame and
Yeah.
the mattress.
Correct.
And with them there, were you concerned that them not being in a holster, they would go off, or did they have
Not at all.
safeties?
One of them had a safety, one didn't.
Okay,
The one that didn't usually was never cocked
okay,
because of that fact. And all my other guns have 2 or 3 rounds in them that are rubber.
oh, why is
Just for, in case something, you know, you have a misfire or whatever. If someone was to rob us or whatever, I don't want to kill them. I mean, honestly, I don't want to kill them.
that? Sure,
I just want to prevent them. That's what they're made for, less than lethal. It's made for preventative reasons.
How many guns do you have at the house?
Oh shit. Let me see. Ruger's hers. The Beretta, the Canic, my 45, my shotgun, and an AR.
And those are all where?
They're all in my safes.
Okay, so
Except for the two.
everything else is locked up except for those two
Correct.
guns.
Correct.
And that was normal for them to be in that location?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you say the reasoning was you kept those two out?
Just to have out, there was, just for protection wise. Because let's say something was to happen in the middle of the night or whatever, someone was trying to rob you, we just moved there, so we don't even know the people around us.
Sure.
Easy access.
Putting rubber bullets in his guns to make sure he just deters an imaginary intruder instead of killing them may make Keith feel like he's presenting himself as a logical, caring person. However, the fact that he allegedly had rubber bullets in all of the guns except the two home defense guns that were easily accessible presents him as something entirely different. A liar. And not a very good one.
Can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
So most of your guns have the rubber rounds in them?
Yeah.
So all of them except for those two have the rubber rounds?
Yes.
Okay.
I ran out of them. I didn't have enough to put in them.
Okay.
All right, so this is where I have to ask you a couple detailed questions, and like I said, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. If at any time you want to take a break, you want to smoke, I have no issues with that.
I just want to go see my family.
So you came out of the bathroom after you
Sure.
heard the shots,
Hmm?
and tell me in as much detail as you can what you saw, what you heard, what you smelled, everything about the scene so that I can try and
Okay.
be in it with you.
Okay. Well, I heard pop, pop. Went out of the shower, right?
Did you
Looked
get a
over.
towel?
No.
Okay.
Actually, no. And when I got out of the shower, my wood floor slipped. Whoa. And then I was like, what the heck? What the heck? What was that? And looked over, and she was, and I was like, oh no, Brandy, stay with me. And that's when I called. I smelled, I don't know what I smelled. I wasn't trying. I smelled her in the coffee pot. I smelled the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't paying too much detail to what I smelled. What I heard was just pop, pop.
And you thought it was balloons?
I thought the first pop, yes.
Okay.
I thought it was a balloon.
Describe to me what her body looked like.
Her body, man, I don't even want to go into this detail because it was horrible. Her body was right here between the bed
Mm-hmm.
and my dresser.
Mm-hmm.
And it was back, but in a way that it was back like almost in the corner. And her eyes were open,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, hey, hey, and she was non-responsive.
Mm-hmm.
Then I seen her eyes roll back, and then I called 911 immediately. I mean, that's just from really quick viewing.
Did she say anything to you?
Nothing. I tried to say, Brandy, 911's coming, 911's coming, and that's it, which is the most horrible sound you can ever hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope nobody has to hear that ever.
I think we both heard it. It's definitely
Oh,
not.
man.
It's definitely not anything you want to hear.
Absolutely
But
not.
when it's your significant other, it's probably a little bit different.
Absolutely, man.
So you didn't see anything else wrong with her, and she didn't speak to you at all?
No. Nope, non-responsive.
Okay. Can you tell me in as much detail as you can,
Okay.
in your mind, what you think really happened?
In my mind, what I think happened, from where she was and the way she was, is maybe she was trying to make our bed, and she grabbed him, and when she grabbed him, one went off, and she dropped the other, or them both. I have no idea. But it was just you don't think you're gonna get out of the damn shower and see this. Immediately when I seen her down, I know that she had accidentally let off a round. And that's what I think happened. Of course, I don't know because I wasn't there for sure. But that's what I would think would happen. Why she'd be moving them makes sense. Why she did move them, I have no idea. Only she knows that. And that's the only thing that I can think of.
How familiar with guns is she?
She's newer.
Okay.
Newer to it. We've only went 4 or 5 times over to that range.
How familiar with guns are you?
Very.
Very familiar.
Yeah. I went through
So-
classes. I used to be a armed security, stuff like that back in my past.
Where did you work for that?
What was it? Security concepts.
Okay. So in your extensive gun career,
I don't know about extensive, but.
well, I mean, you're more familiar than she is. How often does it happen that somebody accidentally shoots themselves twice?
I don't know if she was shot once or twice. I don't know.
Well, you said it went off twice.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. If she dropped the other one, it happens.
Sure.
I have never heard of it being like that unless you drop it.
Right. Heard of it being like what? I'm sorry.
Like a misfire or whatever you call them, unless you drop it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only way, unless you pull the trigger again. I mean, that's just common sense. That's about it. I mean, that's the only possible ways it could happen.
Okay. And there definitely was nobody else in the home, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Me, Ryland, and her. That's it.
In the crime scene investigative report, it was noted that of the 2 guns on the ground, only one of the guns had bullets in the chamber, though both of them had a loaded magazine. This means that only one of the guns was fired. In other words, Keith's story about her dropping a gun and it misfiring isn't checking out. Soon, law enforcement isn't going to be shy about pointing that out.
Is there anything else that you can think of that you think is important for our investigation?
As far as
As far as anything, as far as getting justice for your wife?
better gun control schools. Better gun control schools, readily available.
What in the world does that have to do with this?
What? No, because if she knew better gun control, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Okay. And you said you don't know where her injuries were, correct?
No.
But at one point you said her hand was over them.
No, I said her hand was to her side like this, I believe.
Okay. And you saw 2 spots, 2 blood spots?
Yeah, but very,
somewhere?
very, very little.
And was that on her clothes or on her body?
Her clothes.
Okay. And was the person on the phone, the dispatcher, telling you to do anything
Yeah.
for her?
Hold pressure on wherever you see, and I was even telling them, you can even listen to it, as I don't see anything.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
So let me ask you this question. What makes you think she was shot?
That's a good question. The pops,
Okay.
the guns laying there.
Okay.
Besides that, I mean, one is to assume.
Okay. So you don't know for sure
Mm-mm.
that she was shot?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else in your house that would make a sound like that?
Something falling on the wood floor, maybe.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know, anything. Those floors are new and they're loud. Something that may have fell over. It could be anything.
Was anything knocked over when you came out? Did you see
I
anything?
didn't pay attention for that.
All right. Trying to think what else that I want to ask you. Can you give me just a second?
Yeah.
I want to better familiarize myself with what it actually looks like in your room.
Okay.
So I'm going to go look at the photos that were taken.
Okay.
You want to take a break and...
Sure, have a cigarette?
Sure. You okay with that?
Yeah, just, give me 1 second.
I mean, I can't remember everything.
No, that's okay. Are you going with him, George?
Keith is relieved to have a cigarette with the person he's begun to perceive as the good cop. Detective Thomas has only asked him minor pressing questions, but those questions have shown him that his manipulation isn't going to work on her. However, he can still try on the corporal. Unfortunately for him, that corporal has an audio recorder in his pocket.
Feeling that you guys are trying to get me to say something that's not.
What do you mean?
I don't know, he was just like, how is this that? How is this that?
We want to get your knowledge of the scene,
Sure.
your knowledge of the backstory, your
He's not
knowledge.
accepting what I
I don't think that's true, man. I mean, I've seen interrogations where people are screaming at people and whatever. This is definitely not one of those.
No.
We are just trying to get your knowledge of the backstory, your knowledge of the scene.
It's just a bit cold in there.
And it is cold. I'd rather that than be sweating my balls off.
I mean, yeah, but you guys got to understand, I don't remember everything.
No, absolutely.
I wasn't paying attention to a
And
lot
that's
of the stuff you asked.
That's another reason why she wants to see if she can get some pictures of the scene so she can better ask you and get you the hell out of here.
Naturally, the corporal relays this information to Detective Thomas, who alters her approach.
So I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate everything that we have talked about so far.
Yeah, that's what he said too.
You know, and I want you to know that we understand that this is a horrible situation, and I don't want you to feel like that I'm asking you all these questions to be difficult or to be rude or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. We just...
I mean, look, when I say I don't know, I really don't know. I mean, it happened too quick to have detail.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just I want to know why.
Sure.
You know?
So, we're at the point in the conversation now where I really appreciate your honesty.
Thank you.
And I feel like you have been honest up to this point about your relationship with Brandy and about your love for Brandy. I mean, I can see it in your face.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, how much you love her. And I can also see...
She loved me just as much, though.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I can see that very clearly from what you've told us so far. So, with that being said, I think that we're at the point of where we need to have a little bit of a harder conversation.
Okay.
Because as much as I want to believe that the guns fell and went off and shot her, what we have at the scene just doesn't show that. So I want to keep our relationship open and honest, and I want to be able to respect you, and I want to be able to preserve the love that you have for Brandy, and I also want to give Brandy the justice that she deserves, and I think we need to have a harder conversation.
Go for it.
Is there any chance at all
Okay.
that something different happened that you have not told us?
None. Because that's what happened. I got no reason to lie, you guys. I mean, you guys are investigators, for God's sake. That's what I seen, and that's what I heard.
Well, I mean, you said you have no reason to lie. I mean, I'm not saying that you're flat out lying to us. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay.
What I am saying is that what we have at the scene
Okay.
does not add up to what you're telling us.
But that's your guys'
I
opinion.
want to believe you. I do. And I want to keep this relationship going that we have
Okay.
so that it's not difficult for you. I don't want to add to the trauma that you've already gone through. I
Either way,
really
it's all
don't.
gonna be difficult.
Well, yes, but you can make it easier for yourself. We cannot.
Sure. Sure.
If after we leave out of this room today, I'm able to say that I feel comfortable with everything that we've talked about, you'll never have to see me again.
Okay.
And at this point, I don't feel comfortable with that.
That's fine. You can investigate as much as you want.
And we're going to.
It's fine.
But this is your opportunity to help yourself and to lay it all out for us. Because there's a backstory. This isn't the story.
This is the story, and I'll get a lawyer, and I will prove that this is the real story.
Okay? And you are
You
completely
are-
entitled to that.
Ask Rylan. I mean, that's all that happened.
We did ask him.
Okay.
And you know what he told us? Do you want to know?
Yeah, because I wasn't up. So,
He told us that he heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams at all. None.
Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
He has been known to tell fibs, yes.
Does he tell you on the regular that his mom screams in the bedroom?
No.
Has he ever told you that his mom screams and it was a lie?
No, not screaming, but he lies about a bunch of other different things. You can ask his real father, and he'll tell you that too.
So why on this date would he lie about his mom screaming in the bedroom?
You guys can try to pin whatever you want on me. She didn't scream.
Listen, dude, nobody's trying to pin anything on you.
I'm just telling you what I heard, man. That's it. What I heard, what I seen.
Ryland, who is only 6 and is being called a liar by the man he called Daddy, told investigators much more than they're revealing. In his interview with experts, he disclosed that his mom accidentally shot herself by herself. When asked who told him that, he responded, "My dad." In addition, he told investigators that his mom was alone in the room when it happened. When asked, he once more said that his dad had told him to say that. The 6-year-old disclosed that his dad had yelled at him to call 911 after the shots were fired, but that he couldn't because he doesn't have numbers on his tablet. Sadly, it wasn't just detectives that Keith was willing to try and manipulate.
I mean, if you're trying to pin something on me, why would I have called 911?
You have a conscience, that's why. You love your wife, that's why.
So why would...
Shit happens in the heat of the moment. You're not a bad...
I would never do anything like that.
Accidents
and I
happen.
feel kind of offended.
I feel offended too, if we're gonna go to that level.
I feel really offended that you guys can try to pin an accident on me.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were getting at
No,
with it. I was
not
like,
at all. If an accident happened,
Sure.
we are more than willing to listen to that. But what I'm telling you is what you're conveying as the accident that happened isn't the accident that happened. If something else happened that was accidental,
Sure.
we could lay that out and I would be happy to listen to it. I am not saying that you're a murderer.
No.
I am not saying that you're a bad person, but what I am saying is with my training, my experience, and the crime scene, the accident that you're laying out isn't the one that happened.
Well, that's what I seen. When I came up, that's what I seen.
No, it's hard.
It's very hard.
I know it is. Okay.
And I can't tell you something that I don't know. I'm not gonna make up stuff. I just can't. Well, you can test me for gunpowder, go ahead. I don't care. Do whatever tests you need. I do not have nothing that I haven't told you. I haven't stepped out of my box and told you stuff. And that took a lot, you know?
Sure.
And I don't know how you're telling me that that's not what happened.
Well, it's facts. We have trained crime scene personnel that take measurements, that take angles, that, you know, are able to basically reconstruct the incident.
Okay.
I mean, in a 360.
Okay. Are there any security cameras installed in your bedroom?
Not in the bedroom, no.
Not in the bedroom.
And the rest of them don't work. They're offline because the batteries are off.
Hypothetically speak, did they record audio and video?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Okay.
And we just had them up.
When would those get installed?
We installed them ourselves.
Okay, you guys installed
We
them?
just did it, I don't know, a couple days ago.
Where were the cameras installed exactly?
One in the front, one in the back, one on the side. And this side's not, I haven't got one yet for that side.
Okay. You told somebody, what service are you using? Is it cloud-based or what?
I'm not even sure. They're so new.
Okay.
I believe.
Who are you paying? You paid somebody.
No.
So you don't pay any, who'd you buy the cameras from?
Walmart.
Walmart. Do you know what brand they were?
R something?
Okay. And they were all like in the same package?
It's one's Arlo and one is like something with an M.
Okay. Okay, so there were different brands.
Yeah.
So one of them had like X amount of cameras and then you bought
Well-
backup cameras or?
Well, see, the old house, I got the ones with the M, but those are wired.
Okay.
And we didn't want nothing.
All these are wireless?
Yes.
And do you pay a subscription?
Two are wired and one wireless.
Did you pay a subscription every month?
Yes.
Okay. And the prescription, I'm sorry.
It's a one-time kind of thing.
One-time thing, and they get uploaded to a cloud, or they're in a hard drive?
I guess.
Okay. So there's no like hard drive somewhere?
No.
Nothing. Okay. How do you work those cameras?
Usually through a cell phone.
Okay. And you had like an app on your phone or something like that?
Yes. But we just got new phones.
Okay. So you did not have the app on your current phone?
I do, but I haven't.
Okay. Do you know what the app is called?
I think it's Arlo.
Arlo. Is that one of those Halo, or one of those cameras that on the doorbell cameras? Is that the same brand?
I don't know if they make a doorbell one or not.
Okay. All right. And you and your wife, I imagine, are the ones that know the password for that?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I recently couldn't get in because she was the only one with the password.
All right.
And then she couldn't get in either because it switched, because it's a different router.
Okay.
So that's what our problem was, is we were trying to set them up.
Okay. All right.
And I wish they would have been on, because that would have been clarifying a lot of this.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, if something like that, if we were to have that on the video, I cannot even tell you the crazy shit that I have seen on surveillance cameras.
But the corporal and detective have yet to see Keith's crazy on a surveillance camera. In time, they will. Quickly, Detective Thomas leaves the room to try to start the process of requesting footage from the surveillance cameras all over the couple's home. Ultimately, getting the footage takes the team 4 weeks, but what they get will blow the case wide open.
Listen, man, we got a job to do, okay? Again, I apologize. Nobody's trying to pin anything on you.
Well, that's what it appears like to me.
Listen, I appreciate you staying here and talking to us. I appreciate it. When I can tell the family, listen, He was voluntarily here.
I was, I mean,
We're listening. I know. Listen to me, dude. I know this is a tough day for you. Hopefully this is the worst day of your life, and tomorrow starts something new.
I hope so too.
Okay? We gotta get through this day. You staying here, talking to us, everything's which is fantastic to show the family.
I mean, I take it like she's trying to pin it on me, and
Nicole.
that's, yeah, and I'm very offended.
Okay. I apologize for that. Okay? This is, I don't want you to feel like anybody's trying to pin something on you.
Okay.
Sometimes there's certain things that happen that are extremely unlikely.
Sure.
Knowing firearms, it does happen. It does happen. Dropping a firearm, and having it go off is a fairly rare thing. Okay? It does happen.
Sure.
We need to have the best answers that we have,
Sure.
so that we can close out this case. Otherwise, it remains open.
Okay.
And
And be
then
harassed forever.
nobody wants to harass you. I definitely do not want to harass you.
I know.
Okay?
It's just like, she's not accepting what I saw and what I heard, and,
Okay.
and that makes me feel like I'm getting the injustice now.
Well, listen, if there is injustice, like, I would not be calling chaplains to come talk to you and pray with you and all this other stuff. You just gotta understand, it's a shitty situation, and we are gonna have 50 million eyes looking at us.
Me too
We're
now.
gonna have 50 million questions, and we need to be able, that we have all our ducks in a row.
Right.
And we need to be able to say, this is why we believe what we believe, and this is what we've done to rule person X, Y, and Z out.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
We have, a situation where, God damn it, I keep forgetting his name. The stepson. Ryland. Okay, sorry. Where Ryland says something, and we need to be able to compare, why is Ryland saying this?
Sure.
I did not have any backstory until you just told me
Mhm.
that, he makes things up or things like that.
Sure.
These are very touchy things. We have to make sure we're,
And he's been to this psychiatrist too for stuff like that.
okay.
He's been diagnosed with obsessive destruction disorder.
What does that mean?
He lies, makes stuff up to destruct himself or others.
Obsessive destruction disorder doesn't exist, so what Keith likely means is oppositional defiance disorder. ODD is a behavior disorder where children struggle with authority and are prone to angry outbursts. After Keith has tried to frame his son as a liar, the detective goes to get someone to do a gunshot residue test. Unfortunately, he's not exempt from Keith's quest to get someone to pity him.
Hey, Len.
Keith,
How are you today?
how you doing, man? My name's David Sanders.
Hi, David.
I'll knock this thing out real quick.
Tell me about it, man.
We're not gonna do that yet.
Why do they always try to pin the other guy?
What's that?
Why do they always try to pin, you go on, I don't know.
Listen, man, I don't honestly know what all's going on. They just told me to come here and do this, so that's what I'm doing, okay?
The man takes swabs of the blood on Keith's pants and hands, and he tests for gunshot residue. When the corporal returns, he has news that Keith isn't going to like.
I've got a couple of crime scene techs that are up at the house. Okay. They're going over the scene. Okay. I don't want there to be any misunderstanding. At this point in time, I'm gonna have to have you stay here with us and not release you at this time. The reason I want to make sure that we have, I want to make sure that, for example, there is no video, and again, and you have to understand, and you have to get past being offended by something just for a minute and understand that I have to make sure there's nothing like footage on the camera of, and again, forgive me for saying this, but footage of you shooting her or something like that
Sure.
on video, okay?
Keith has read his rights. He is given permission to call his parents. Fortunately for us, he decided to do so on speakerphone. And you're about to see the exact moment he realized the public knew he was a suspect.
Did they release you?
Nope. I need you to come down and talk to me.
There's a lawyer. Hang on. We gotta get a lawyer.
Yeah, get one now.
Keith,
Yes.
what is going on?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
You have a right. Have they charged you with anything?
Not yet.
Then you have a right to leave right
Nope, they're
now.
detaining me.
They can't detain you. Unless they charge you and arrest you, you have the right to leave. The cop told me that.
Okay, they
You
said,
tell them that,
Hey,
we
hey,
got you a lawyer.
hey, just come down
What?
to, you know where the old hospital is in Benel?
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Come here and see me, now.
Well, they wouldn't let me in before.
Well, they said that you can come down here and see me.
Hold up. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Come down and see me at the old hospital in Benel.
Okay, well, we get a lawyer.
Yep, you get a lawyer.
It's gonna cost you $8,000.
I don't give a shit because
I know.
I've been trying to say
Sarah-
this and that.
Sarah put up $1,000.
Okay, alright, give me a lawyer.
We already got him, and they're on the case right now.
Okay, and you tell him to come down here with you.
Well, he's not coming.
Okay,
He's not coming.
well, they're
But
gonna,
they should be getting all of the information now. They cannot detain you without charging you with anything. And
okay,
they can't charge you until they get that search warrant and get in that stuff.
okay, alright.
Keep your mouth shut. Don't
Yeah.
say a freaking thing.
Not beyond this point.
Nothing.
Okay, not beyond this point.
Nothing. I don't care what you said before. If they're detaining you, say that your lawyer is, because the lawyer says that they will not let you leave, that's in your favor.
They said that
But
they
you
won't let me leave.
he said, we told him everything, Keith.
They said that they won't let
said
me
that you
leave.
probably will be charged with a class 3 felony
For what?
for the pot.
Oh, who cares?
Well, that's what we're concerned about. Also, it says that the investigation is under suspicion for homicide.
Yeah, that's not cool. Give me a lawyer, get him down here right now so they'll let me go.
Well, that's what it said on Flagler Live. So, the lawyer is on it, and Mom and I are on our way right now. Okay,
Alright, bye.
we're on our way.
Bye, bye.
Bye.
Are you charging me?
You're
So you're telling me I cannot leave right now?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna tell my lawyer this?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. I still want to talk to my parents though.
Okay, that's fine. Just hang out here. You've been cooperative, so I'm not gonna handcuff you or anything like that. You can just stay here. If you have an issue with the fact that you're detained, again, you can tell your parents, you can tell your lawyer.
Okay.
And for the time being, just hang out
Why
here.
am I being detained?
You are being detained because of...
They said it's under suspicion of homicide?
Who said that?
Flagler Live.
What did Flagler Live say?
That it's under the suspicion of
Okay.
homicide.
Okay, well, every death is treated as a homicide, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Soon, Keith's dad arrives. Keith may feel like he finally has someone who will believe his story, but his dad proves to be an incredibly logical man.
I think she was trying to maybe
She was reaching
fix
out.
the bed.
Why
Because
would she even have a
my
loaded
weapon-
gun in the first place?
my weapons were in the bed,
Oh.
in the side. So if she took them out to move them, she used to do that all
But
the
why
time.
why would there be two shots? That's what doesn't make sense.
It hit the floor.
Why would those guns don't just go off by hitting the floor, Keith?
I don't know.
I know you don't know, but they don't go off by hitting the floor. You have expensive guns, they wouldn't do that.
No, only one of them has a safety.
It doesn't matter. That trigger'd have to be a hair trigger to do that.
One of them is.
Which one was used?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm not grilling you. I
No,
mean,
but they
your
haven't
dad,
told me.
I want the
They
best.
haven't even told me much. Then you know more than me.
Oh. I don't know anything either. They wouldn't tell us anything.
I mean, it's like,
They won't let Ryan go
no,
with
it's
anybody until the child services make sure that he's not severely traumatized.
Sure, but
He didn't see her,
He
did he?
don't know.
Well,
He don't know.
I will tell him. I don't think you should tell him, because you're not in the condition to do it, Keith.
I have to man up.
I know you do, but we need to talk about how to do that, okay?
As a family.
As it? Well, just you and your mom and I.
Your security, go ahead and look on them.
Yeah. Well, they asked about your security, and I said,
Half of the time, it's not even on.
I said, you know something? I don't even know why he's got it.
Law enforcement did go ahead and look at the cameras. It took several weeks to get footage of their bedroom cameras pulled from the server it was stored on, but what they uncovered proved what they thought all along. Keith wanted his wife dead.
You up, man. Like bad. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, you push a person to either beat or kill you because you're...
On April 5th, just 2 days before Brandy was murdered, the security camera in their bedroom captured this harrowing footage. Keith did hard drugs for 5 hours and spent the entire day berating Brandy. He repeatedly accused her of cheating on him, when in reality, he was seeing someone else for the majority of their marriage. At the end of the 5th, after the last bit of footage you're about to see, Keith ripped the camera off the wall. It seems that by then, he had made his decision.
You're gonna spend the rest of your days in an institution. I can throw you there tomorrow. You did? No problem. Just you use it. Get too many chances, man. Too many. Show a cop these videos. I don't give a... I'd rather be in prison.
And that's exactly where Keith is. It only took a jury 3 hours to determine that Keith was guilty of killing his wife. It didn't help that on the stand, in spite of hours of surveillance footage showing him threatening Brandy, he tried to claim that he had acted in self-defense, or that he took to the stand to defend himself against his attorney's recommendation.
Yeah, I didn't murder nobody.
That's what you mean? By I didn't do anything?
Well, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything.
I didn't
How
do
do
it. You did do it. You just feel you have a defense, correct?
No, I didn't murder nobody, and that's what I was charged with. That's what I was referencing to.
Murdering someone, shooting someone.
Murder is way different than self-defense shooting.
You are charged with murder, but people wanted to know how Brandy got shot.
Right.
And so when they're saying, if you did this, if you shot her, if there's a reason, anything, tell them.
I didn't get
You
the
lied.
context. I didn't get that as the context of the question.
Okay. And then later, when you talk to your mom on the phone, you actually suggest that Ryland could have done this. Correct?
I guess.
You suggested that or not? You heard the phone call.
I think I did.
And she said to you, Keith, that's a little boy.
Right.
Clearly indicating, don't go there, Keith. Ryland didn't do this, correct?
You would have to ask her.
After once more throwing his 6-year-old stepson under the bus, Keith's attempts at manipulation were put to an end. He is currently serving life in prison without parole.